Paradise is something we're all searching for. A state of mind of absolute perfection. Whether it's white sand beaches, crystal clear waters, swaying palm trees and panoramic sunsets, or that one place that truly makes you feel alive, we all continue to search. But how far would you go to find it? Since ancient Hawaiians started riding waves on carved-out wooden boards, surfers have scoured the globe searching for the perfect undiscovered wave. In today's world, it is now more difficult than ever to uncover an untouched world-class wave. The waves out there yet to be discovered now lie in the most remote places on the planet, where it is virtually inaccessible to reach or too dangerous to travel. This has left only a small group of surfers who share the same mindset to leave the comforts of the Western world to travel to the world's most isolated and inhospitable lands, enduring hostile conditions in hopes of finding their own version of it. They are modern-day explorers, known as feral surfers. Today, one of the most well-known and respected feral surfers still searching for perfection is Travis Potter. A United States native now living in Indonesia, Travis travels to the far reaches of the globe, surviving off the jungle in hopes of discovering his own paradise. Travis believes to have found an area yet to be explored for waves, with great potential of containing hidden perfection.
As I was pouring over the charts and trying to figure out where we want to go exactly, and just kind of searching for areas that look like they haven't been too explored, and I see a spot that's like, wow, this could potentially be really good.
The spot lies not only in the most remote region of Indonesia, but the entire world. It is the last frontier in surf exploration. It is the Indonesian province of West Papua, located on the western half of the island of New Guinea. A land with the densest rainforest in the world. An island untouched by time. Struggling with a bloody conflict. To travel the region, Travis calls upon a crew of feral surfers who share the same drive to discover a world-class wave. A group of individuals who live for the unfamiliar and the dangers it may bring. Don't let her radiant beauty and contagious smile fool you. Jenny Useldinger is one of the very few professional female big wave surfers. She is absolutely fearless, charging some of the heaviest waves on the planet.
As a free surfer, one of our jobs is to just documenting stuff that nobody else has done before and just sharing a part of our lifestyle that is about going above and beyond surfing down the street from your house.
Spencer Frame, a world tour guide and modern-day explorer.
When I first heard about this opportunity, I was so excited. I asked Travis, I said, man, you got to take me with you. As a cultural liaison, with my experience with different people and all around the world, I'd be an asset.
Josh Fuller, one of the best-kept secrets in surfing, who stopped competing to pursue his own endeavors of searching for waves and solace.
Life as a surfer, it's a pretty good deal. You get to surf the world's best waves. You know, along the way, you get life experiences that you won't get doing other things.
Jimmy Rotherham. This legendary El Salvadorian charger has mapped up and down the coast of Central and South America, traveling to the ends of the regions. Jimmy is known as one of the best Latin American surfers around. Andrew Mooney, the youngest of all the surfers, is known for his hard-charging approach to the world's heaviest waves. His fearless and often reckless attitude towards surfing has taken him across the globe in search of the next new ride.
I just expected to experience a fair bit of a mission. We've been warned that, you know, we can get into trouble here if we're not careful with the tribe and the military.
Military says it's fighting a group of separatists of the Free Papua movement in the area. Al Jazeera and other foreign media are being banned from traveling to Papua. Even in modern-day Indonesia, in some isolated and neglected parts, this dark past still seems to live on.
Jayapura, the only major city and gateway to the remote jungles of West Papua. A city divided by the hostile tensions between the local Papuans and the Indonesian military and police. An area you cannot avoid, a place you cannot leave fast enough.
Papua Guinea kasihan, tolong kembalikan bicara di PBB atau di.
Our first introduction is this guy that's really vocal about his opinions about what's happening with the suppression of the people over there. And it was a hell of a way to start a trip that we were already really anxious about.
With gear exposed that is valued higher than the average yearly income, it's a race to get out of the public eye.
We knew it was a different kind of place, and we knew we just had to get the hell out of there.
Bad yelling match.
Still yelling, there's a fight right down the street here. Oh, they're pushing each other.
You'd feel a tense vibe to the whole place.
It was this very street where recent riots erupted that led to 3 police officer deaths and hundreds of injured Papuans.
The best way to stay away from any problematic situation is to just get ourselves far away from big towns and just generally people be on our own.
We didn't really know what we were doing, except for that we wanted to get some boats and get the heck out of town.
Fluent in the language, negotiating with locals is left to Travis.
Perfect.
Yeah.
He establishes a room for the group to hide out in.
At least for now, just sort out what we're doing. We'll go to the harbor, figure it out.
Okay.
Check out a boat.
To keep a low profile, Travis goes alone to negotiate the boats out of the city, leaving the cameras behind. To stay under the radar, he has set up a group of fishermen to take them in the middle of the night.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, wake up, get all of our stuff together, head down to the pier.
We kind of just slipped in the dark and got on a boat and tried to get out as quick as we could undetected.
Failing to slip away in the dark, curious eyes gazing down upon them are a reminder of their vulnerability in traveling to the great unknown.
We took off and, we just started driving down the coast. And where we're gonna go is information we didn't know exactly.
There are no maps or travel books to guide them where to go. They must give themselves to fate, traveling only by instinct, making them truly susceptible to the elements of the jungle.
We're kind of just winging it, looking to find whatever.
It's extremely adventurous. We don't have any kind of schedule or agenda except for just on a mission to find waves. And how much more of paradise can you be in than that?
first crew of boats that we hired, they didn't really want to go too far. I think they felt like they'd taken us further than they'd wanted to already. So having just seen a lot of cliff face and no potential for surf, and they told us about a little village.
I was a little concerned because this is our first time. They're just going off and just dropping us.
Forget plans on trips like these. It's not about maintaining structure, but rather adapting to the uncontrollable events that surround them. When meeting the chief, all they can hope is that the last visitors were polite.
It's a bit intimidating. We had no idea how we were going to be received by people that maybe have never seen foreign people, or maybe not since World War II. You just find the Kapala Desa, which is the head of the village, and ask him permission to come aboard his beach.
Oh, sudah bilang?
Iya, sudah bilang kita. Itu ada rumah itu, saya taruh di sini.
Travis has shown true hospitality and granted permission by the chief to set up camp on his beach.
Yeah. So all their stuff's safe right here. Yeah. We can just set up tents, hammocks right here. And right on. They couldn't have been more hospitable to us, and they had some fish that they cooked up for us, and everyone was so friendly, and they insisted we stay the night, and they'll organize another boat for us to keep us going and checking out some more coastline.
They learn that Daniel, the chief, settled with his wife and 5 boys on an isolated stretch of beach where they live off the jungle in seclusion from the rest of the village. As the only 2 women, an immediate respect and understanding is made between Daniel's wife and Jenny without even speaking the same language.
I'm sitting here whacking away at it. She's like, no. He shows me how to do it. Getting to go and like interact with these people, like that's like living right there. The last thing I want to do is just stay in my little world and like be so secure. Come on, step out of the box and live. Like.
Daniel's Beach may not have a world-class wave, but it certainly has its own kind of perfection.
As a little kid, he was trying to sort of copy me catching waves, sort of trying to do the same thing. It was pretty cool. I was trying to get him on the board, but he's like, Kidak, no.
Gather up some stuff, make a fire, crank that up.
Yeah, Squid Brothers, you're live. Oh, look at the heat.
Got some of the local moonshine. I don't even know what it was.
We got upstaged by the locals in the dance hall.
Ended up being a really fun place to stay. Once the word spread that there were some foreigners in town, everyone wanted to come and hang out.
Even though we can't talk to each other, we had a few drinks and we all hit it off somehow, so it was good. The island! By the boat!
Give me the worst headache. But I didn't get bit by any mosquitoes, so that is everything.
Living in the moment, it's easy to let your guard down. For the group, this meant veering off their original plan of staying on their own. A mistake that puts them on the military radar.
Word spreads pretty fast that some foreigners in town. And I got to the local police in another village a bit further away, and comes back to us that we got to go check in and show them our passports and let them know we're traveling in the area. And so I just brought a couple of the guys with me.
I don't think anything's gonna happen, but it's probably for the best that we do what they kind of want us to do.
The local police demand their passport information and the details on where they are traveling. They assure them that this is for their own safety. Whether this is true or not, they will take their chances without the aid of the police.
Wrote our names in a little logbook and gave them false information about where we were going so that they weren't on our tail. The whole point is to just be as far away from anyone, especially government officials. So with the police knowing where we're at, it was time to go and move on to somewhere else and find something more isolated on our own.
Daniel suggests taking them further up the coast, where they will be even more remote and where the police and military have little access. Back into the unknown of what lies ahead. They continue their search for perfect waves along the isolated coastline.
When you go looking for waves, it's really not that easy. You gotta study the reefs and scour the coast. It's always really hard to search for waves by boat. You can't really see what's going on. You can't tell what the reef's doing and if there's actually a wave in front. So we see something that we thought maybe a wave and go hiking and look around, see what's close by.
The points that we thought had the most potential ended up not being the best waves.
On one hand, you're trying to find waves so you can get some footage and get some exposure of it when you get home. And on the other side, we just want to surf really good waves. You know, that's the underlying driving force.
As they travel further up the coastline becomes jagged, with steep cliffs lining the shore, creating little potential for waves.
So we spent a few days searching around looking for waves, and we found in this particular area it's really inconsistent and can be a long time before swells come. So we end up spending a lot of our downtime fishing, just trying to survive on our own.
Easy, work it, short love.
With rations very limited, their main food supply is what they can catch for that day.
Look at that beauty. Get in one.
Oh my gosh, he caught a fish. We're gonna have food now. We can eat.
So we're really just hoping to find some place where we can stay on the beach for the night, to camp out and rethink what's going on.
Once again, plans are thrown to the wayside, dictated by a low supply of petrol and the steep Guinea coastline. Daniel is forced to dump the team off in a village even larger than his own.
Pull up into this bay and a bit intimidated because didn't realize how big of a village it was going to be, and an intimidating welcome with all of a sudden just all these people.
Without any other option, they are dropped off and left to figure out their next move.
We had no more fuel, and I was trying to organize things, figure out what our next move was, and we could see some potential for some waves further up in the bay.
There's one out the back.
I was trying to organize things. A couple of the guys pulled some boards out and hopped in the water, went for a paddle. In this particular area, it's pretty obvious that none of the kids have ever seen any Western people, and here come these excited little kids, and they've got these planks of wood, and they go running out into the water, and sure enough, they're riding waves on these old pieces of wood just on their stomachs. Straight away, I pulled some surfboards up for them and trying to teach them how to stand up. It's pretty exciting.
them a new sport and have a little more relationship with the ocean, and you know, it's amazing.
Standing up, and just the smiles on their faces, they were in disbelief. It took a while for them to warm up to us, but once they did, it was an amazing place to hang out and teach them how to surf.
All the guys were having so much fun with the kids and taking them surfing, and nobody would hang out with me. None of the kids wanted to come and learn how to surf by me. Felt like they were just like, oh, girl, oh, stay away. There was tons of kids on the beach, but they were all separate. You know, it was very distinct of female and male. So I was kind of tripping on that factor. You like to surf? Surf? Today, you want to go surf?
Sekolah SD.
Go to ski?
I just kind of went down there and I threw one of my boards out for the kids to jump on. And then there was quite a few girls started jumping on and hanging out after that. I was super stoked.
this is going to be where we're staying for a bit.
In a culture where roles and activities are separated by gender, there is a curiosity and respect for Jenny as the girls in the village watch her doing the same as the men.
Jenny, good to meet you. Were those your daughters surfing today?
Yeah.
They were doing so good. They were having so much fun.
Jenny is nice. We like her because she's really kind.
Where'd you learn English? You speak so well.
I know English little bit only.
No.
Just little.
He's speaking very good. Wow, this is really happening. We're here in this moment with all these villagers. That's so amazing. It was kind of like surreal, to be honest.
In a land where basic means of survival is more important than the US dollar, they contemplate giving Daniel their meal as a parting gift.
Just a hat. Just keep it going.
Maybe so stoked.
He's a fighter. Maybe really stoked. Yeah.
It's a tough call, you know? That looks delicious.
Not gonna be doing it.
Wahoo are great to eat, but I'm sure they appreciated it probably more than we did.
Did you give him the fish?
Yeah, we'll catch another one.
It was so extremely beautiful. Everything they need to survive, all right there. They just eat a lot of fish and have this meal out of sap.
This one is Sego Pamba, the traditional food for Papua.
The tree sap, they just kind of stir it up and the texture is really chewy. I think it was the texture more than anything that got to people.
I don't know. The Tari was good, but I'm not sure about this.
Trying to swallow it, it was like really sticky. They ended up saying that we could stay in this amazing shack that was just like above the water on stilts. It was just such a dream location. It was so beautiful.
This is the front door, which is pretty much the same as the windows. No door, no guard. Set up our beds here at night. Yeah, the hammock if you feel like taking a break, relaxing. This is good in the mornings. This is our headquarters.
When you let your fears go, you open yourself up and give yourself to the moment. That's when you truly live.
Encounter with the people was exhilarating. I mean, it was really cool. It's something that I haven't felt on any of my other travels. You know, we're smiling at them, they're smiling at us, and they're probably thinking, who are these guys? What are they doing here? What are they gonna do? Why? You know, but we were greeted like family.
Messiah Spencer. Is that right? Messiah Spencer? And you are... Yeah. Jeffrey. Hello, Jeffrey. What's your name? Nenas. Nenas. I gotta make sure I get the name right? It's very important, right?
It's very interesting to me to come and check places like this out and absorb the whole culture and the whole cultural clash, you know, just learn more about people and life in general. And for them to embrace us, you know, it's really, really cool. I mean, they've been treating us like kings. It's so cool. I mean, this is where we're staying.
Some of the local kids would take us up and around over the hills, and found some pretty fun little waves to ride.
With a growing bond, the villagers begin to share the horrors that haunt their people.
I was talking with her about PNG, and she was born in PNG. That's where she learned her English, and her father's from this village, so she moved back here. And she was saying that people that sometimes take things from you.
West Papua with Indonesia are still fighting. They don't want to take our land or what. They take all the resources and everything, gold or what from here, this land.
All the gold?
Yeah, so they feel that if they leave this land, they will become poor. They kill many Papuas, women, ladies, little child.
Did they ever come here and cause trouble?
Yeah, and the people have job already too. If they job are good, they kill them. Like my brother is 3 weeks ago and they killed him and they send his dead body on him. And we already buried the body.
Bapa di dalam kerajaan surga, Bapa Engkau telah menyertai kami dan saat pagi dan malam hari kepada pagi hari Engkau kami datang
I'm sorry to hear about your brother. Do you think it's getting better or worse?
Get worse. They don't want the world know. They just kill the people silent and make no.
It's a full genocide.
To destroy the Papua, West Papua people.
It's been going on for like 30 plus years, 40 years. That's one reason I didn't want the police to know that we were even around when we had to go sign in, you know?
That you were able to talk to us about it, because I know it's difficult sometimes.
We wish to get freedom, but
pretty good crew to be with. No one's complaining that we're not finding waves, and everyone seemed to be pretty happy just to take in the culture and the sights and experience something different.
The way they smile up at their eyes, I just want to say, oh my goose! We sit under the stars. Thank you, God, for letting the bus be oh so late.
Jenny organised a night surf one night. I think I just shrugged it off and you're not going to be able to see anything, and I think I was a bit surfed out.
Sitting in the sand, watch the tide roll up. Take a deep breath in as your past fades out. Let everything else just fade into the horizon. When the plan stops spinning and the music stops, take a deep breath in, let your life fade out. With everything else you'll fade into the
Just as you begin to feel comfortable within the elements, the jungle will remind you of the thin line between life and death when traveling to one of its most remote parts.
Jenny got stung by something when she hit the bottom and didn't really have a good idea of what it was that stung her.
It's like a dark spot in there. Let me grab it. I was sitting in the shack here and she came in sort of holding her hand, and she was having really bad pain sort of going up her arm, and
Like I can't really move my fingers. I don't know if it's like,
I was freaking out, thinking, God, we're stuck in the middle of the jungle. I was worried. I didn't know what we were going to do.
You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Make sure you just breathe deep.
Be in the middle of the night, stung by something in the middle of nowhere without any real medical help available. The fear of that started to really play on Jenny's anxiety.
ow.
It like got you sideways almost.
Yeah, it's like
instead of going straight in, it probably went like
As the locals observe Jenny, it becomes clear as to what stung her. They draw out a fish with spines in the sand.
Yeah, nailfish.
Nailfish. She said there's nailfish.
Little fish, but they got nails.
If this is a really bad poison, we've got no help here. We've got no way of sort of fixing it.
And then that got kind of scary. This could get serious, you know, if she goes into a shock or has an allergic reaction to this, done.
The only thing that's going to make it feel better is really, really hot water. Yeah. Is anyone boiling some water? I'll go boil some, eh? We'll go put...
So there's not much more you can do other than get as hot a water as you possibly can and keep it on the wound to coagulate the poison and give some relief.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah, it's always a little scary when someone gets hurt and they're far away from getting help. It was a pretty good test of how well the group fit together.
Thank God it sort of passed, but not quickly. I think that whole night she was in pain, yeah.
Staying in the village they are now beginning to call a second home. Surfing has now become part of the village's daily routine.
every time we wake up in the morning, the first thing we see is the kids playing on the boards, just right there in the lagoon and running and jumping on them. It's pretty cool. cool to wake up to every morning. Everyone's just out in the water having a good time, and it's just kind of watching the transformation into a little surf community.
The kids took so much pride in getting to show the younger ones what to do. You know, you share what you've been given and you just keep passing it down. And it was so incredible to see that.
Just a slice of copper moon over the ocean, ocean blue. To hear my whining only tune, to strike a chord that brings me to you. There was a time when
The surfers found a utopia amongst a group of strangers where they are now beginning to call family.
It seemed like we ended up losing track of the whole original vision of the trip, that we're there to go find surf and find something world class, and it's time to go move on again and keep hunting.
Supposedly on the northwest tip over here, there looks like there's reef passes from satellite photos, so hopefully we should get some waves over there. Kind of just have to go and see what happens when we get there.
The village will forever remain in their hearts, and in exchange, they each leave a gift behind.
After having such a good time teaching these kids how to surf, we decided that the best gift we could leave them with was to give them some of our boards. It's a good feeling to be able to give something that someone's not going to have the opportunity to ever get again, and especially in a place where it could affect the whole community in a positive way and bring them together in a way that they never had before.
Come back in 6 months' time, they'll all be surfing pretty well.
Here's the future generation of rippers from Papua.
We really want these people to stay here because they make fun and we enjoy.
When we left, it was a pretty emotional send-off. We've gotten really close to the people that live there, and I mean, it was almost maybe more emotional for them, seeing near like tears in their eyes. They didn't want us to go at all.
Living in fear, isolated from the rest of the world, hope had finally come to their doorstep.
A letter to the Swiss to help them get their freedom. And in the bottom, Papua Merdeka is like free Papua. That gave me the goosebumps before. We gotta keep this in like a very special place. We weren't really supposed to end up here. It's just really the way it happened, and if it hadn't gone down that way, we wouldn't have met such amazing people. spent days and days traveling, looking, not finding anything, and just 200 miles to explore, running out of time. We're on the second largest island in the world, so we got to cover more ground quickly, so we figured we'd find a village that had cars and check out some more maps and see what kind of road access there is to the coastline. Once we got to the next harbor, we wanted to get a car out of there as quick as possible. It seemed like a more bustling town, and someone was on us pretty quick.
You know the place? Just trying to figure it out.
Basically on us straight away, you know. There was no missing us. We were the only white people. We were just a target.
If we go up to the north, we need one bus.
So he was selling himself as a guide who could show us around and take us wherever we wanted to go. So we sort of tried to ditch him a few times. And it wasn't really working. He was pretty good. It was like glue. We just couldn't get rid of him. Started getting pretty public with the things he would say.
Indonesian, they come here to try to cut everything what we have here. They steal our mine, gold, everything. Killing people. We talk to them. We want to talk. We don't want to fight. But people in Indonesia, they don't want. They want to shoot, kill, shoot, kill. We don't want to die.
They're way more outspoken here than the last place we were at.
Heavy stuff. Some heavy stuff.
10,000 people in Papua New Guinea. We will return very soon. People from this island.
Yeah. He's talking about West Papuans that went to Papua New Guinea that are going to come back. And I don't know, it sounds to me like a revolution.
This could be a little dangerous.
Whether they're skeptical of the man or not, the executive decision is made to bring him along as their guide.
He spoke really good English and had a lot of knowledge of the area. For me, it seemed like this would be a good guide, not only to find out more information about what's really going on over there, but as well using him to find some really good waves, hopefully.
We ended up just getting one big bus for everyone. We're just going to get in the bus and drive all night. We don't really know what to expect, but from talking to a bunch of the locals, they all sort of seem to think that's a place where the big waves come in.
Traveling through the densest rainforest in the world, there is no sure way. The jungle ultimately determines where and how you will travel.
We're in the middle of the bush.
Let's go, boys.
There's no way back, no way forward.
Let's go. Well,
We're on foot from here. This is serious malaria territory. Not to mention the spider that was about this big that we just seen crawling on the windscreen.
Let's go. All right, let's go. We're following.
So crucial.
Come on, let's move.
This man is well, I hope he's in home. I don't know.
We're trekking through the jungle, just trying to find something, a beach to sleep on or something, and this kid comes out of nowhere and just waving his torch and starts guiding us.
They are led to a wooden shack on the outskirts of a village, where a man named Adolf welcomes the surfers.
This guy said, staying here, don't worry about security. Okay.
Visitors pour into Adolf's to meet the guys, where a nightly ritual of singing Papuan ballads ensues. The music starts lighthearted and upbeat, but as the night progresses, the music begins to reflect the pain in the Papuans' hearts, which is evident in their eyes. Adolf suggests they sing the forbidden Papuan freedom song.
Please. It's hard music, but its meaning is, you know.
And you get in trouble for singing this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. That's military behind us, so not do it. Some Kapisa, 4 years ago, he went to Holland. He wrote one book about Papua, like this, about singing and the story. He went to Holland, back they kill him in hotel.
The Papuans rely heavily on music to tell the stories of the struggles they endure.
Mother. There's a mother when you're little kids. Your mother will really take care of you. Right? When you walk, when you're running, you fall down. Your mother always go there, take you up. She love you. So this man is singing this singing song to remember when his mother died.
Come on, marmor ben so ya gue ambil dari Mapleine makaruaro Ancho Muya namna subena baindo Boleh sama dulu aja boleh sama dulu Buraya desa Terang-terang Yaman benasina siwa Amber dari Indonesia.
It'd been a while into the trip, and we had some fun surfs, some fun sessions. A ton of variety that on its day looked like it could be amazing.
We're surfing really fun, perfect waves, but we were there for serious waves. Overhead, world-class barrels. It didn't look like they were coming.
Perfect setups line the coast. But without a large enough swell, the odds of finding that perfection look dim.
Almost.
Winding down on the last few days of the trip, they need a miracle. And they need it fast. Fate or pure luck? That following morning, the calm shores from the night before begin to rise, and signs of a major swell, capable of creating large waves, start to show.
We had a swell pop up for the last 3 days, and it looked really good.
We could see all this swell out the front of the place where we were.
So basically, we had a small window. First day it peaked, the second day was gone. We had one shot to go home saying, yep, we found world-class waves. After doing a bit more research on the direction that the beach faced and the direction the swells normally come from, realised that it'd be pretty rare to get waves there.
I was kind of freaking out, said, look, we've got to go and look for waves. We had these boats organised to sort of go west down the coast where we hadn't checked out yet, and they were late.
So we were stuck without transport, with the swell on the way. We knew there were better spots. There was a scooter at the place we were at, and we were able to fit one person with the camera on the scooter to go try and find waves. Mooney got the shot.
Jumped on a moped and sort of headed back down the coast. And we hit a bump and then went down with the bike. Sort of got a big gash on my toe and kept going. It was just a different coastline. There's all these waves breaking everywhere. And we sort of looked across this bay and could see this wave peeling these perfect black barrels, these big round cylinders just going down the reef. I was freaking out. We had lost it, just got back on the bike, raced back.
He came back, just lit up, that full-on surf excitement that we all look for, and he just, couldn't settle him down.
We were in disbelief that there was this wave that was going on, and we weren't there.
So the next day with the 6-foot swell, that was us. We had our spot, but we still didn't have transport.
In our heads, we know that it's the best waves that happened the entire trip, and we're sitting there just trying to figure out how to get there.
It was taking forever. We were starting to get pretty stressed, Get us to the waves, Neil.
And then finally, the boat showed up.
And there's not nearly enough room for everyone, and I'm just frothing to go surfing.
And I just remember saying, every man for himself.
So I kind of had a little plan up my sleeve to get there on my own and get there quicker. So I talked to the owner of the bike that Mooney had wrecked, worked out a deal. I told him I could fix your bike if I can use it for the day. So I let those guys go on the boat.
Finally got the boat going in the right direction, and there's a good chance this thing's gonna sink.
That thing bouncing. You guys have more water back there?
The boat was not seaworthy. It was water pouring in it. We had way too many people and way too much equipment.
As they arrive at the wave, with their boat upright and still intact, they find Travis already in the water.
Stay here.
So by the time we pull up, it's a little bit onshore and crumbling. It just wasn't quite right. You know, the people that took the boat thought that we got skunked. We're like, oh no, we've missed it.
They came up just short of surfing the perfect wave.
All the things that go wrong were all going wrong on the day that we needed it to all go right.
As all hope was lost, the wind shifted and the swell grew even larger, turning a mush of a wave into absolute perfection.
location. It was just, I highly doubt I'll find a wave like that again.
We just ended up absolutely getting really, really good waves and making the entire trip worthwhile after everything we've been through and all the struggles.
It was everything you'd ever hoped for to find on a surf trip. It was perfect left, the perfect right. It had everything.
It was like the wave you dream about, that you draw in your books at school, and you find it. It was incredible.
for that one day, you know, for one surf, and it was absolutely worth it. And he's like, yeah, we did it. He scored.
They finally found the wave they were searching for. And in the process, they shared their joy of riding waves with those searching for something positive to hold on to.
We're too young to be confused.
After all the time we'd spent looking for some kind of a perfect wave, then we finally find it, we get it, it's good, but then it's time to go, but there's still so many questions left unanswered. It was sort of like, it wasn't as fulfilling as you would have thought going into it.
It's too cold to catch a fire. There are burdens on the pile. Maybe we could make up an answer to their question.
We found some world-class waves, and we've kind of accomplished our goal, but there was still something missing. I mean, we were leaving people that desperately needed our help. We have the opportunity to tell the world about what's going on and give these people a voice, which hopefully will make some changes in their future and in this part of the world for sure.
They've got to be the biggest, hardest people I've ever met in my life.
The impact of the Papuan people on the surfers resonated with them long after they returned home from their journey.
That's a morning star. It's a West Papua flag. It's our own flag. There one people, one song. That's what we born for this flag. Give it back. So American, you are superpower, yeah? Country around the world. So we have, please, do it for us because we have other children for the next generation. If you didn't independence, you didn't do it for us, then our children, our family, and the future will be dying. Thank you.
Returning back to Jakarta, West Papua would nearly claim the life of one of the surfers. After contracting cerebral malaria, Travis fought for his life.
Everyone that I've talked to that have had malaria before, they say right when you get it, you know that that's what it is. And bam, it hit me. Just a whole different feeling than I've ever had from any sickness. So the first 2 nights were just so rough. I was by myself, hallucinating, just in and out of reality, and was just kind of scared to fall asleep, thinking I might not wake up, or I might wake up and freak out and jump off the balcony. So I basically just stayed awake all night and just sat there and just concentrated on breathing.
Enduring a horrific battle alone in a third world hospital, the surf community around the world comes to his aid in raising money to get treatment.
Hi, my name's Timmy Turner, and my friend Travis Potter is sick, and all the donations help.
It was pretty amazing. Some of my friends giving me support, saying, you know, we'll collect some cash and pay for your bills. It was a pretty good feeling knowing that just the whole surfing world is, everyone's like family. Step up to the plate when one person needs help.
While stuck in Jakarta, tensions in West Papua continued to build.
A report by a prominent West Papuan church leader has accused the Indonesian military of committing systematic genocide in the province.
With the number of human rights abuses in the region becoming more frequent without any international response, it was clear to Travis that the voices of West Papua were not being heard.
For me, ultimately, the thing that I'd like to see is that people are aware of the situation over there.
The images are shocking. Men wearing military uniforms threaten to cut the victim's throat, kill him, and burn him. The video is so graphic, we have blurred the most extreme scenes, especially the part where the interrogators burn the man's genitals.
Travis knew he could not leave Indonesia without doing his part to give the West Papuan people a voice. This would mean returning to the place that almost cost him his life.
I've spent most of my adult life traveling around Indonesia and being amongst the people, and they're an amazing people, and it's pretty much nothing but smiles and hospitality. And so this is a whole different thing to see them fighting amongst themselves. And really wanted to investigate more to the root of the cause and see what it was all about.
Traveling alone, Travis returns to Jayapura to meet with a human rights lawyer and 4 Papuan political figures.
Well, on the way, there's a lot of different feelings going on, anticipation, a little bit of fear.
For fear of being tailed by the military, their escorts ask them to turn off their cameras until they reach their destination.
Pulling up to the hotel and seeing that there was guards around. We had to be escorted in, and it was a pretty overwhelming scenario, nothing like I didn't imagine, just going to have a little chat with someone.
The men were on edge at first when meeting Travis.
They feel like they're always being watched and followed, and it is a bit intimidating.
Speaking out against the Indonesian government can be considered an act of treason. With the prohibition of journalist visas, these men believe this may be the only chance for their voice to be heard.
They know that, like you coming, and we are sitting now, they know that we're speaking about Papua freedom. So this is the problem, that you will not have free to have information.
The struggle began in 1969 with the Act of Free Choice.
Under the agreement, the Dutch will transfer to the Indonesians the administration of the territory they both claim. Until full transfer next May, it will be administered by the United Nations. And in 1969, the Papuan natives will vote on...
The Act of Free Choice was a vote on whether West Papua would relinquish sovereignty under Indonesian rule or become independent. The vote, decided by approximately 1,000 people, was to stay with Indonesia. The validity of the vote was challenged by West Papuans with claims of corruption and intimidation.
After the Act of Choice in Papua, Indonesia has met many abuses of human rights in Papua.
They killed many people.
How often do they kill the people?
Still. After the kill, shooting by the gun and then carry and then throw it to the sea. The parents in the bottom of the house, but in the house, the daughter of the parents just used by the military. But there are many things happen like that.
Around the largest mine in West Papua, the Grasberg mine, is where the majority of human rights violations have taken place. The mine is not owned by Indonesia, but in fact the Freeport-McMoran Mining Company, located in the United States. Freeport has paid the local police and military $79 million over the past 10 years in connection with security operations conducted on behalf of Freeport-McMoran. Though Freeport-McMoran has claimed they are not connected to the human rights abuses in the region, they continue to monetarily empower the military, who is directly involved.
Is take out our resources, but we want to free on our land.
Having only scratched the surface of the Papuan conflict in the northern coastal region of the second largest island in the world, Travis knows he must travel to even more remote parts of the island to fully understand the struggle. He calls on Josh and Andrew to travel back with him to West Papua.
We wanted to go see firsthand for ourselves the area that was sort of the original area of all the conflict and the area that's been the most affected and the culture that's been pretty much wiped out up there. So we wanted to go find out a little bit more about the situation. Being up in the highlands, we were able to get a lot better idea of the whole assimilation process, of how they're bringing the tribal culture into a more modern state and forcing change upon them.
Pinus Gore is called for the fetal, men fetal. Only for oldest people still wearing the Pinus Gore. But the oldest getting very old, they died. And the younger people, they don't wear no more because of modern influence. They go to school in that city, they want to do the same as what they learned there. That's the system made by Indonesia.
They have schooling and they're not taught about their local culture. So the younger generation, although they're here living it, are losing their ability to live how they live. They're becoming westernised, basically.
Situations of the past are an assimilation process that one group of people are forcing their beliefs upon another. In order for it to work out, they have to destroy the original culture until it's nearly lost. There won't be people living in such a simple life with everything they need right here for too much longer,
With their newfound knowledge, Travis, Andrew, and Josh decide to make one last stop before returning home. The one place that had changed their lives forever.
Surfing town. I just can't wait to see their faces when we first pull up.
There was a hope that they'd all be out in the water surfing and that they'd see us and recognise us straight away, and it would be a big sort of party that we're back with the surfing.
So, here we are.
It was a little bit disappointing. It was pretty much deserted and there wasn't a ripple of a wave.
Jamalin?
From the new face on the beach, they learned that Jamalin, along with many other villagers, were no longer there. They learned that the chief who had given Travis the letter had passed away. The village they once loved was no longer there. Without a ripple of a wave to surf, all they could do now was share stories about the village from their first trip. That was until a familiar sight was spotted in the distance. Soon, faces began to look familiar.
What's your name? Nenas.
While many of the villagers had left, the surfing stayed. And with the boards came old friends. Even without any waves, the kids still found a way to surf.
The fact that they were still playing on the boards when there were no waves was pretty cool, because they don't have to ride waves the way we ride waves.
It was once again beginning to feel like the place they had left. Once again, the villagers felt like family, and the village like home. That night, they discovered the reason why so many of the villagers had already left.
Oh my gosh, look at this shit. Parking area, souvenir kiosk.
They're gonna have like a pier for fishing over in here. So they're gonna dredge this whole thing. It's gonna be a whole nother world here.
The locals explained that the destruction of their village, consisting of 3 families since their ancient ancestors arrived, is to make way for a hotel resort. The reality hits the surfers when the villagers present the development plans.
This place is totally 100% self-sustainable, and they're just gonna take it from us.
So lucky to have found it, oh my dad. In a year's time, they won't be able to live their lifestyle anymore. They won't be able to fish the river. They won't have access to the beach. They'll just be kicked out, and a tourist hotel sitting on the prime land, the most pristine spot. And without that spot, I don't think they can be self-sustainable anymore.
Outside of the villagers' control, they are being moved off the beach, houses torn down, graves uprooted, and are being sent up into the hills.
When they dredge it, there will not be a wave here anymore. No one will be surfing.
That's just the worst news ever, that this place is going to be destroyed next year.
It's just sad, eh?
Yeah.
Makes me really sad.
Yeah. What they were dealing with, they'd been dealing with for a long time and will continue to deal with. You'd love to be able to do something. Try and bring awareness, and that's really about it. Without the world really caring, nothing happens. The whole world really has to get emotional about it.
It is clear that they really were brought there for a reason.
If we can somehow create some peace here, yeah, that'd be unreal.
This whole thing started out as just a place to go explore as a surf mission, and it's become so much more, and really it's become such a part of my life and affected me in so many ways. And really just hoping to get these people's message to as many people that can see it, and hopefully people understand that there's a place where people need help. Hopefully that I can do my little part in making a difference.
So we've taught these kids how to ride waves, and now they're a part of this bigger tribe that's everywhere in the world. They won't be forgotten. We'll take care of them. They're like family.
The same tribe that came forward to aid in Travis's struggle for his life. A tribe consisting of riders all over the world who truly call themselves a surfer. A tribe that will carry the Papua's message so that their struggle will not go in vain. Though they are leaving West Papua, they will never leave their friends behind. Their journey with them has only just begun. So many times we see atrocities occurring right before our eyes, yet we do nothing, believing there is nothing we can do. But we all can take action. Carrying a letter from one of the most isolated parts of the world comes a mission for change for a people who never thought their cries would be heard.
So at one point, the people of West Papua asked for your help and gave you a letter. What did the letter say?
Basically it says, we the people of Papua declare our desire for freedom to the international government,
To the world and international community and the red flag of Switzerland. Please help our aspirations for freedom. So this was like their one chance, you know, to let their voices be heard. It's another reason kind of why going to the mass media as well is it throws it out there to everyone, you know.
Stop the genocide in Papua!
Since the beginning of making this film, people all over the world are now beginning to stand up for the West Papuan struggle.
Free the people of West Papua! Free the people of West Papua! Thank you very much.
The country of Norway has already made steps for change by pulling its investors out of the mining company Freeport-McMoRan, a company that continues to empower the Indonesian military. To help the people in West Papua, it begins with a worldwide dialogue allowing the Papuan voice to be heard. You can do your part by visiting www.isolated.tv and signing a petition demanding the U.S. Congress to revisit Resolution 1355, drafted by Patrick Kennedy, to stop the human rights abuses in West Papua. You can record your own video and become an isolated ambassador for peace. Hi, my name is Ryan Phillippe. I'm an actor, director, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace. For a better world tomorrow, it begins with our actions today. We have the power to create change.
How you doing? My name is Travis Potter. I'm a citizen of the world, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
I'm Jenny Eastlinger, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
My name's Josh Fuller, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
Alright, I'm Andrew Mooney, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
My name is Jimmy Rotherham. I'm a professional surfer, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
Hi, my name is Brittany Snow. I'm an actress, and I am an isolated ambassador for peace.
I'm Matt Dallas, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
Hi, I'm Tia Blanco. I'm a surfer, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
Hi, this is Greg Hetzen from Bad Religion, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
My name is Anastasia Ashley, and I'm a professional surfer. I am an isolated ambassador for peace.
My name is Karen Caples, and I'm a skateboarder, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
I'm Levin Rambin, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
Hi, I'm Mark Brewer. I'm a photographer, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
My name is Jack McCoy. I'm a cinematographer, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
My name is Jeff Corliss. I'm a professional base jumper, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
I'm Britt Robertson, and I'm an ambassador for peace.
My name is Eric Ellington. I'm a skateboarder, and I'm an isolated ambassador for peace.
Hey, I'm Cody Simpson. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I'm also an isolated ambassador for peace.
I'm Jason Simon.
Parvati Shallow.
It's Justin Baldoni.
My name is Anjali Cabral.
I'm Duncan, and this is Ben.
I'm Susan Holmes McKagan.
Hi, I'm Amber Arbucci.
I'm Randy Wayne.
I'm Tony Cavallero.
Sono Roberta Mancino.
I'm Joel Michael.
Monica Keenan.
Chris Gallia.
Jason Frost.
Cassie Skirbo.
I'm Ruben Stewart.
I'm Fievel Stewart. John Lilly.
Damian Holbrook.
Elgin James.
Felix Egwood.
Sarto Sari.
Sean Whalen. Robert Anthony.
Brooke Lander.
Brian Kaczynski.
Jeremiah Smith.
Matt Smiley.
It's Renee Van Winkle.
Jeremy McCormick.
I'm Kyla Pearson.
And I'm an
isolated
ambassador for peace.